Welcome back. In this lecture, we are going to discuss the Matplot library in Python. So this library is used for graphical representation of data, and we are going to use different functions that are used in this library. So let's begin. So first we are going to import the Matplot library. Matplot library as MPL, and we are also going to import the pyplot library, which is from the Matplot. And here we are going to import the NumPy library also. Now first we are going to create two different arrays, and we are going to then use the Matplot library to produce a graph from the array. So first we are going to create an array. So here I type numpy dot line space. From 0 to 10, and we need 25 outputs. And here I'm going to create variable y, which will be x multiplied by x plus 2. You can create another line space also for the variable y, and I'm going to print x and print y. So here we got two outputs. Now we are going to use the PLT, which is the Matplot library pyplot dot plot x comma y. So here we got the output, and you can see we got a curve in the XY graph. Now you can also change the color of this line by mentioning the color. So here I mentioned red, and here we got the output. Now we are going to see how to display a subplot, like two different plots we are going to plot here. So I use the plt dot subplot command, one row, two columns, and this will be the figure 1. plt dot plot x comma y, and I want the line green, and it will be the dash line. And then the second subplot will be the plt dot subplot, one row, two column, and this will be the second plot. X comma y, and here I'm going to use yellow, and the line will be dash and asterisk. Let's run this, and here we got the output. Or we can also do this like y comma x. Now if I want to plot these two graphs on a single plot, so what I will do here is I will change this to the figure 2 to 1, and here we got the output. Now we are going to add axes to this plot. We are going to configure the axis for the plot. So here I define a variable figure equal to plt dot figure, and the axis equal to figure dot add axis, and here I'm going to insert some values. I will explain you that what are these values. 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, and again 0.5. Correct. And axis dot plot x comma y comma red. So here we got the output. So what are these values? These are actually, I put some comments here, so you can like control the left from this value, like you can move your graph to the left, and from the second value you can control the height, the moment of the graph up and down, and from the third value you can change the width, and from the fourth value you can change the height. So from the first value you can move your graph left or right, from the second value you can move up and down, and from the third and fourth value you can adjust the width and the height of the graph. So for example, if I change it to 0.2 and here 0.3, you can see the changes occurred in this graph. I will also show you that what if we change these two values, then what result we get. So in the next few lines I will show you that how these changes, if we make changes in these two values, then what we can notice. So now I'm going to show you the another way to plot subplots. So here I enter the figure and the axis, and here I'm typing plt.subplot, 1 row and 2 columns. Now axis at the location 0 dot plot, and here I'm going to enter xy and red, the line will be red, and axis dot plot y comma x comma and blue. So here we got an error, and subplot takes 1 or 3 position. Okay, alright, so here it is actually subplots, and here we got the output. So the first way is like you can use a subplot and you can give the position of the plots, and here in this way you can like give a position 0, 1, 2, 3, and you have to define only the rows and the columns. So these are two different ways. Now I'm going to plot one figure into another figure, and I will show you that what the difference we can notice when changing these two values. So here I type figure and I define the figure variable, which will be the plot.figure, and here I define the axes for those two plots. The first axis is figure dot add axis, and here I insert those four values: 0.1, 0.2, 0.8, 0.8, and the second axis I will copy the line and I will change to axis 2, and here I insert the other values. So this will be the bigger image. You can see that the height and the width is bigger than this one. And here I'm going to plot axis 1 dot plot x comma y comma the color green, and axis 2 dot plot y comma x comma red. And here we got the output. So if I change these values, like I change it to 0.2 and not this one which is the smaller one, 0.3, so you can notice that it has moved towards the right. And if I change it to 1 and this one 0.6 to 0.7, then it will move up 0.5. So this is how you can play with this and you can change these values and adjust according to your need. I can also change the width and the height, width to 0.4, like this. Now if you want to change the DPI of the image, then you can also do this. Like here I type, first I define the variable figure equal to plot.figure, and inside this function I define the figure size equal to 16 by 4, width is 16 and height is 4, and I also define the DPI equal to 100, and here I define the axis figure dot add axis, and here axis dot plot, and here we go. So now this image has a DPI of 100. You can also change the DPI, like if I type here 600. I think you have noticed that it takes some time to plot this graph because we have increased the DPI. So as we increase the DPI, the file of the image will be bigger. Now let's move on and let's see how we can insert the title, the label, the XY labels, and the legends to the graph. First, let's see the values that we have in the X and Y variable. First, I'm going to see what values we have got in the X and Y variables. So these are the values. Now here I'm going to plot X comma Y red and Y comma X blue. Then I will enter the subtitle X dash Y graph plot dot the X label speed and the Y label for example distance, and here I will enter the legend, two legends, X dash Y, Y dash X, and the location will be 1. So here is the error, has no attribute subtitle. Okay, here I have to it's the subtitle. Now it's correct. So here if I change the location to 2, you can see here that it moves towards the left, 3 bottom, we can also change the DPI of this image like we have done before. So for that you have to first define the figure and the axis variable equal to plt dot subplots, and here I define the DPI equal to 300, and here we are going to use the axis variable dot plot X comma Y, axis dot plot Y comma X, axis dot set X label speed, axis dot set Y label distance, and axis dot legend. I'll copy the same legend here. and here we got the output. You can notice that this image is much clearer than the last one. Now let's see some more function in this matplot library. So here first I define again the axis and the figure equal to plot ELT dot subplots. I'm not going to define the DPI here, and here I type axis dot plot x comma x plus 1, and I'm going to plot another graph, and the third one here we got 3 lines. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to define the color, and I'm going to adjust the opacity of these 2 lines. So for that, the variable we need is called alpha equal to, I change it to 0.3, and here alpha equal to 0.3, and here you can notice that the opacity of these 2 lines is now decreased and this line is now red. You can also type here color equal to red, and here I will change it to, for example, x multiplied 2. Now let's see some more functions. So first I will change back to 1. I will remove the color here and alpha from these 2 lines. Here I'm going to define the line width equal to 5 and the line style equal to dashes or dash dot. Instead of writing the line width, the full word line width, you can also type here LW for the line width, and for the line style you can type the LS. So in this way we can change the line width, the style of these lines. Now let's use some more options that we have got in this matplot library. So for the lines, so here I will remove these lines, and here I type line comma equal to axis dot plot x comma x plus 2 comma color I define, for example, black, and the line width equal to 3. So here we got a black line. Now line dot set dashes 5 comma 10 comma 15 comma 10. So here we got dashes in these lines. Now here you can play with these numbers, like here I type 2, 8, and here 5. So you can notice that the distance between these 2 lines is adjusting according to the value that I'm entering here. So here I type 5. So what is changing here is, like, the length of this line is 10, then we got a gap of 5, then we have got a line of 5, then a gap of 10, like this. So if I change it to 5 here again, you can see 5, 5, gap of 5, then a line of 5, and we got a length, a gap of 10. Now let's see some more designs. Here in the axis plot, I define the marker equal to letter O and MS equal to 10, and marker face color equal to blue. So here if I change it to 5, you can see the size of this marker, which is a letter O, is now decreased. In the same way you can increase to 15. So the color is the black, the outline is black, and the marker face color, the inside color is blue. So here I will change it to green. Now let's move on. So here I'm going to define the figure and axis. Plot dot subplots axis dot plot, and here I'm going to plot two different graphs. And here I'm going to also enable the grid. You can also set the x and y limit for the graph. So here I type axis dot set x limit, and axis dot set y limit, the limits for the graph. Now let's plot it. So you can notice that the y limit is 30 and the x limit is 20, and the grades are also true. Now we are going to plot 4 different graphs like scatter, step plot, the bar graph, and the fill between graph. So let's begin. First I'm going to define an array equal to numpy.array figure and axis. I'm going to define plot.subplots one row, 4 columns, and figure size equal to 16 by 5. Now let's plot the first subplot. First I'm going to set the title, which is scatter. Axis 0 dot scatter dot random and the length of x. So the x value is the value of x and the y is x multiplied by the random number with the length of x. Now let's plot the second subplot. Set title, step, axis 1 dot step, and for the step plot we are going to use the array that we have created. With the line width equal to 3. The bar plot alignment center, and the width equal to 0.8 and alpha equal to 0.5. So far we have plotted 3 graphs. Now let's plot the last one. Axis 3 dot set title. This is the fill between. Axis 3 dot fill between. And the color green. So I hope you have understood that how we can plot different graphs, and we have used the NumPy array as well as the plot library. Now we are going to plot a polar graph. It is also called a radar graph. So first I'm going to define the figure. Plot.figure, and here I'm going to define the figure size. Figure size equal to 6 by 6, and the DPI equal to 100. The axis equal to figure dot add axis, and here I'm not going to change the left, right, or up, down movement of the graph, and the width and the height will be 0.5, and the polar graph equal to true. Now I'm going to define a variable, and it is the numpy dot line space, starting from the 0 till 2 pi, 2 multiplied by np.pi, and we need 100 values. Axis dot plot pt dot pt, and the color red, with the line width equal to 3. So here we got the output. Now we are going to plot a histogram, and for that we need number of values as well as number of bins. Bins are actually the groups in which those values will reside. So first here I defined the number of values. The values will be random. And here I'm going to define the figure and the axis equal to plot.subplots, 1 row 2 columns, and the figure size equal to 16 by 4. Now the first subplot axis 0 dot set title, and this is the default histogram, and axis 0 dot hist n comma bins equal to 20. And another graph that we are going to plot is the cumulative histogram. So I change the value to 1. This is the second subplot. and here I add cumulative to true. So here we got the histogram and the cumulative histogram. Now the last graph that we are going to plot is the contour plot. So let's first define the variables, and here we need three variables, x, y, and z. So x equal to np dot a range from -3 to 3, and here the gap of 0.025, np dot a range from -2 to 2, here x and y I'm going to plot a mesh grid. So for this np dot mesh grid x comma y. Now for the z variable, z1 will be np dot exponent minus x and minus y multiply by 2, and z2 and the z will be now I define here the figure and the axis again. Contour axis dot contour the contour label inline equal to 1 and the font size 10. And the title contour map. And here we go. So that's all for this video. I hope you have understood the matplot library functions, that how we can use them for plotting different graphs. So if you have any questions, you may ask me in the comment section. Thanks for watching, and I see you in the next one.